Chuppa across the 4th, sitting across from Matt Tidd. You can see those accomplishments listed in front of you. But for one, it's about getting another regional title. For Matt, it's about getting the first one.
Chuppa, again, one of the best players in recent years. A second regional championship would just cement him even further as a top trainer across formats, across the entirety of the Scarlet and Violet era. And that is something he's been working very, very hard for. Someone who is very deserving of that title. But of course, Matt, like we're saying, very, very strong trainer in his own right. Someone that's been on the up and up and would have a monumental success if he's able to take home this title.
Chuppa and Matt have not played each other yet in the tournament and find themselves face-to-face as the last opponent in their tournament run. Matt is the only one that's gotten close to playing anything like Chuppa's team, where he did play and beat Ofomezi Email in the top 16 of our top cut bracket. But Chuppa probably hasn't had much experience, if any, against a Hariyama Sinistra team.
That could also work out in Chuppa's favor too, because even though he shared 5 Pokemon with Ofomezi, those 5 Pokemon were all built very differently, and that was kind of a key point in that match, is that we have a quote mirror, but they all function so differently. So maybe Chuppa will be able to use that to his advantage, give Matt some different looks at these same Pokemon that he's been seeing most of the day.
Taking stock of the match, Matt has used Trick Room on stream to be able to set that speed in his favor, even going up against some of these other Tailwind-oriented teams to flip that script. But Chuppa does have a speed control option available in the Tailwind on his own Dragonite. But is he actually going to use that when he knows that Sinistra with Trick Room is a huge threat? And there isn't a great way for him to actually stop that Trick Room from going up.
I don't know if it's going to be too easy to stop it from going up, but you do have that Safety Goggles, Intimidate, Incineroar, which could be able to slow down the game a little bit against Matt's team, especially given that Grass-type Terra will be able to resist the Machagacha and a possible Hyper Voice from that Choice Spec Spring Arena. Does have to deal with that King Gambit, though. It might be a little bit difficult to handle a King Gambit in Trick Room with a Defiant boost, because unlike Ofomezi's Incineroar, it is not that Mirror Herb set.
Chuppa did a great job in his previous sets of leveraging the friend guard of this Mousehold to keep the bulk of this team, deny a lot of KOs in the process. I feel like the Assault Vest, the Choice Specs Golden Go in particular, if he's able to get out the gates and deal enough damage, then maybe you don't care so much about having to get through the Trick Room as long as you're taking positive damage trades.
It's cool that we get to see the 2 dueling Basque Legion as well. Chuppa does have that Focus Sash adaptability variant, whereas Matt will have... Oh no, that was the other team. That was the other team Chuppa just beat. We don't have dueling Basque Legion anymore, so this Focus Sash variant has come out on top, and instead we are going to get to see this matchup between Chuppa's more good stuff team and Matt's a little bit more creative Trick Room and Primarina style.
Matt or Chuppa will be the first regional champion in our North American VGC circuit, who will come out on top in this best of 3 for the finals. Let's get ready. Matt is going to lead off with the Volcarona and our Chaladon, and Chuppa has the Mousehold and Golden Go.
Very solid lead for Matt here. Volcarona is pretty strong into Golden Go. You do have to worry a little bit about that Power Gem, but if you are using Power Gem, you do lock yourself into it for the remainder of the Golden Go's time on the field. Flamethrower threatens a bit of damage, and Struggle Bug threatens to lower the special attack. Mousehold could also go for, again, that Follow Me. Just make sure that a Flamethrower doesn't get redirected. Even a Power Herb Electro Shot could be a little bit scary, but Volcarona does have to worry about a possible Power Gem.
Struggle Bug first is going to drop the special attack of this Golden Go, but it has the choice specs to make up for a little bit of that subjugated damage. Mousehold goes for the Super Fang, but it's going to miss the Archaludon, so it gets to keep its full HP heading into this Electro Shot turn. It's got the Power Herb, so Electro Shot is not going to take any turns to fire off. After you see this special attack boost, the Power Herb is going to be consumed, and the Electro Shot hits its target with the Mousehold, brings it very close to being KO'd, but should stick around for another turn. The Golden Go would have loved to be able to pick up the KO onto the Archaludon, and you can see how much Chuppa missed out on having missed the Super Fang.
That would have been enough for a KO there, which would have been great for Chuppa. The good news, though, is that now that Archaludon has used its Power Herb, the only attacks available to it are Dragon Pulse and Flash Cannon, both of which Golden Go will resist. So if you want to, you can try to follow me away a flamethrower that would have been targeting it at Golden Go, which would knock out the mouse hold, but that does allow your Golden Go to take a shot at this Archaludon, knock it out, get rid of those special attack boosts from Electro Shot, and go from there. Another Super Fang, again, a really solid option on this support-oriented mouse hold that usually is able to prime those KOs, but unfortunately that 10% chance to miss happened to show its head here.
Maushold is going to stay safe for a future turn in this game number 1. Still gets a chance to keep its Friend Guard ability active when it comes back out, but Incineroar now to take its place. Intimidate drop's not going to matter onto either of these special attackers. Volcarona next to move goes for the Struggle Bug, getting another special attack drop onto this Golden Go. But based on how much damage this Archaludon has already taken, another Shadow Ball should be able to do the trick. Dragon Pulse first from the Archaludon is able to do a good chunk of damage to this Golden Go, but it's about finally picking up the KO that it missed out on that first turn.
Correctly identifying that you don't need to go for Follow Me there, as Struggle Bug is the most likely option for that Volcarona. Luckily enough for the KO after that second special attack drop, and now Archaludon and its special attack boost are gone. But Matt still has some very powerful Pokemon remaining. This Sinistra in particular with the Dark Terra means that it won't be taking neutral damage from anything Chuppa can throw at it. The Heat-Proof ability will make the Fire-type attacks resisted. Dark typing will resist the Knockoff and Shadow Ball. So now we're in a spot where Sinistra can possibly start going for some of those Calm Minds, making it really difficult for Chuppa to take down with the remaining special attackers he has.
I think it's actually okay, though, if Chuppa forces out the Terrestrialization onto the Sinistra. It means that you're not going to have that for any of the other Pokemon. You might want to have saved that for.
The Struggle Bug is paying dividends, though. We're seeing the Ursaluna swap in here, and if Struggle Bug was once again the move of choice from Volcarona, it's going to be taking that -1 special attack right off the bat.
Flamethrower, as Volcarona starts to switch things up, is a single target attack into the Blood Moon Ursaluna, and the knockoff is still super effective. Knocks off the Mental Herb, not something that we've seen the Sinistra take too much from or use a lot of, but with the Strength Sap into the Incineroar, you're getting a nice attack drop, but also a ton of healing. Sinistra is able to undo all of that knockoff damage.
That's a great combo there. Knockoff, getting rid of the Mental Herb, you don't really care about losing that item, but now that Sinistra doesn't have a held item, Knockoff will be doing even less damage. On top of the Strength Sap lowering Incineroar's attack, this Sinistra is once again in a very good spot. Volcarona is free to go for that Struggle Bug, lower that Ursaluna's special attack, get a little bit more chip damage onto it, and now, again, might be a prime time for a Calm Mind from this Sinistra, which I don't know that I ever would have expected to see that, especially in the final of a regional, but it's done so well for Matt so far.
Chuppa's team has shown a lot of guts, but the Sinistra even more courage. With this Calm Mind boost, has been able to withstand so many powerful special attacks thanks to the boost it gets to its special defense, but it has yet to get one so far in this first game. Volcarona goes for another Struggle Bug. Ursaluna has Terrestrialized to the Fire type, so you will be able to keep yourself safe from any of those Machagachas that Sinistra would have loved to throw out. Incineroar lands the Parting Shot into the Volcarona, dropping its special attack, so it's going to be tickling even less, as we've seen some of these attacks do so far. But it allows Chuppa a really important pivot. Getting the Golden Go back in allows you to change what you lock into for the choice specs, and you've shed those special attack drops that you've gotten from the Struggle Bugs at the beginning of the game. Look at how well the Sinistra is going to take just this Blood Moon, as Sinistra now is able to start running away with things with these Calm Minds.
I don't know that Matt particularly cares about the special attack being dropped on the Volcarona. It is a nice little source of damage, especially now that Golden Go is stuck without its Terrestrialization. Flamethrower will be super effective, although I guess it's Steel Terra, so that was the case regardless. But now that Ursaluna has used that Terrestrialization, this is a perfect situation for that Terra Fire. If it was water, like we see a lot from this Assault Fest set, it would then still be super effective from that Machagacha, and you're not resisting the Struggle Bug anymore. So great defensive Terra there from Ursaluna, but unfortunately the damage might be a little bit lacking. We saw that Blood Moon after a Struggle Bug do less than half to that Sinistra, and now with that Calm Mind it will be doing even less.
You can't go for the Blood Moon on this subsequent turn either, but Golden Go is still able to take that like a champ. That Parting Shot paying off dividends into the Volcarona to allow this Golden Go to survive for at least one Make It Rain. Brings his Sinistra down very low, but this Blood Moon Ursaluna should be able to finish the job. It locked into Hyper Voice, which will do spread damage to both targets, and unfortunately that Calm Mind special defense boost to that Sinistcha is not going to do enough to keep it around for the next turn. Matt is down to his final 2 Pokemon. This Volcarona has been on the field the entire game, took that special attack drop thanks to the parting shot, and cannot shed it once this Kingambit has now hit the field as the 4th and final.
Yes, White lied. That special attack drop was very important there to keep that Golden Go around. You have to wonder if Struggle Bug may have been a better pick just to make sure that Sinistcha was able to take those 2 attacks. You further lower the special attack of these 2 special attackers, and Sinistcha maybe can get a Matcha Gotcha off for some healing. Even a Strength Sap would have been nice to keep it around. But Volcarona still sticking around here. The Volcarona still threatens, Struggle Bugs for a little bit of damage. Probably a KO into that Golden Go, and of course another special attack drop on the Ursaluna. But luckily for Chuppa, he still has all 4 of his Pokemon remaining. Any special attack drops can potentially be cleared by swapping out.
There's still a Terrassalization on the table as well, so this Kingambit gets a chance to change to the Ghost Terra. You know that this Golden Go locked into Make It Rain, so there's no super effective Shadow Ball that could be coming your way as Volcarona lands another Struggle Bug.
It doesn't
Golden
even
Go is not going to get the KO onto the Golden Go, but the Golden Go will get knocked out at the end of this turn thanks to the burn it will take. Make It Rain is going to get this Volcarona down quite close, but again, this Volcarona is in range of Ursaluna to just pick it off. It's even the Blood Moon that this Ursaluna decides to go for. So ensuring you are going to get the knockout no matter what.
I think that has to be respected, right? The Blood Moon just to, again, confirm that 100% I will knock out this Volcarona, leave Matt with just this Kingambit remaining, and now Chuppa will lose the Golden Go to the burn. But again, that special attack drop from the parting shot, 2 times that Golden Go stuck around to get a little bit of damage off before it got knocked out. And now we have the Ghost-type Kingambit, which doesn't necessarily want to be taking a knockoff from Incineroar, and there's maybe some worlds where Kingambit may be able to outspeed Incineroar and go for a +1 Kowtow Cleave after Defiant, but we've seen how fast Incineroar is. It was outspeeding Rillabooms, it was outspeeding Golden Goes. I think it's pretty clear this Incineroar is just going to knock off this Kingambit and take the first game for Chuppa.
Can't knock out both. Kingambit does not get any spread damage and doesn't have any on Matt's Pokemon. He gets a nice Defiant boost, which will make great use of to get the knockout onto this Blood Moon Ursaluna, but that's also very good information for both of them to have, that the Blood Moon Ursaluna can get knocked out to a +1 Sucker Punch, but Incineroar with a knockoff is going to just barely miss the KO onto the Kingambit, but it still should be locked up. Maushold comes in, gets the Friend Guard as the nice defensive boost to this Incineroar, but you can also just follow me and let the Incineroar do the rest.
Guaranteed win here now with this Follow Me Maushold. Really well played from Chuppa after a little bit of a unlucky for early game with that Super Fang miss, but kept his cool very well, preserved the Pokemon he needed to give himself the guaranteed win in this situation here. The Maushold, especially with that Follow Me, just locks it up.
Denies the Sucker Punch, allows the Incineroar to get the final blow, and Chuppa Cross wins the first game of this best-of-3 finals here at Pittsburgh.
Really well played by Chuppa. Again, after that Super Fang miss, it would be very easy to come a bit unraveled. Like, oh, I just missed the Super Fang. I would have KO'd our Chaladon. I would have been in such a good spot. And now I have to kind of readjust my game plan on the fly. But having so much experience at this top level of play, Chuppa was able to redirect his attention to some different Pokemon and then eventually take that win.
And you know he's dealt with this before because he had Meteor Beam Glamora and Draco Meteor Archaladon in his previous Regulation H teams. So I think you've got to be okay with missing some things here or there.
It happens. That's just the game we play, and the best trainers know how to win despite those little bouts of bad luck. And I like the team choices that Matt made here. I think the Kingambit can be very good into this matchup. Of course, it's just one of the best Pokemon into Golden Go, one of the main reasons to be using it, and threatens pretty good damage into everything else as well, especially if you get a Defiant boost from that Incineroar. Unfortunately, just came in a little bit too late to make an impact here.
Just the way that Chuppa preserved his own Pokemon so that the Kingambit can't reliably 1v4 was perfect for the end game.
Even the Maushold, right? It was at very low HP after that missed Super Fang, but Chuppa recognized that you need to keep it around for later on.
But as we enter into this game number 2, we're going to see Matt lead with this Archaladon and Volcarona once again, but Chuppa has decided to switch things up. It's time for Dragonite to shine next to this Golden Go.
I like this from Chuppa a lot. Depending on the speeds of the Archaludon and the Dragonite, if the Dragonite is able to get a scale shot off into this non-stamina Archaludon, that could be a bunch of damage that is pretty necessary here. However, if Archaludon is faster than Dragonite, a combination of Struggle Bug and Dragon Pulse could potentially knock it out before it moves. So a little bit of a risky spot to be in with this Dragonite, but Golden Go again, threatening heavy damage with either Shadow Ball or Power Gem into this Archaludon and Volcarona.
Dragonite's still going to be super fast and even more survivable if you're able to get this Mousehold in with that Friend Guard to help bolster up some of this Dragonite's defenses. With multi-scale still intact, maybe you do have a chance for this Dragonite to actually survive even if the multi-scale gets broken. As Matt is going to go all out on the offensive. It's a Terra Electric to this Archaludon. Going to give a bit of a boost of damage over to its Electro Shots.
Struggle Bug does come through, will lower special attack here and do a little bit of damage, but these two physical attackers don't mind the special attack drop at all. We'll get to see if Dragonite or Archaludon is faster.
Archaludon's going to be faster. It gets to go for the Electro Shot. With the Power Herb, it's going to boost that move and make it available immediately. So that nice special attack drop or special attack boost is also going to pay off. Where did it target? Archaludon's going to go into the Dragonite. And so if the Mousehold is able to keep it alive, then Dragonite gets a chance to get away with something here.
Big Scale Shot coming through will do a huge chunk of damage to this Volcarona, and more importantly, give Dragonite a speed boost. Now, it will almost certainly be the fastest thing on the field. Do connect with all 5 hits as well with that critical hit. Volcarona is not in a great position anymore. I really like trying to target that Volcarona down if you're a Chuppa here. It did give him a bit of trouble in that first game with those Struggle Bugs, but now it is very vulnerable to an attack from either of these two Pokemon. Of course, you do have the option for that Tailwind with Dragonite as well to make sure that your Pokemon in the back, especially that Choice Specs Golden Go, will be attacking first. But you might also just want to go straight for more damage, right? If you know that Matt is probably bringing that Sinistra, you don't really want to set up Tailwind to possibly give him even more of a speed advantage in Trick Room.
I think the Dragonite has done enough to outspeed both of these Pokemon, and Matt's also feeling the pressure. Volcarona is actually going to take a reprieve, and Primarina comes out in its place. That is one way that you can get around the Scale Shot is with a natural immunity, thanks to that Primarina's Fairy typing. Mousehold goes for the Follow Me, which is going to work because we do have a sturdy Archaludon on the other side. So the Mousehold is on the receiving end of this Dragon Pulse. Still around, though, for this next turn, and that's where Chuppa can start to take a look at what's to come.
I like the Primarina swap. That's a really nice way to mitigate some damage from that Scale Shot. Archaludon, still at full HP, does get a little bit of damage into that Mousehold, but again, crucially, Mousehold sticking around, able to survive that Dragon Pulse. Now threatens a Super Fang that would possibly break the sturdy of that Archaludon, get it down to 50% HP, and allow one of Chuppa's last Pokemon to clean it up. This Primarina with the Choice Specs will be threatening very heavy damage here. If it locks into either of its spread moves, the Hyper Voice or Dazzling Gleam, I imagine that results in a double KO, but then that gives Chuppa the information as to what Primarina is going to be stuck using until it leaves the field. Especially if Tailwind goes up here too, Chuppa will have kind of his pick of Pokemon to start dealing damage.
Chuppa won the first game. He has some breathing room when it comes to this set. The onus is on Matt to try to bring things back and tie up this series so that we can go to a Game 3 and Matt has a shot at the regional title. But for now, Chuppa is well in the driver's seat. Gets the Tailwind off with the Dragonite, so now he's going to have speed control, but Matt's able to take a KO. Is this enough for Chuppa to have set the Tailwind for something else in the back, as he also protects this Mousehold to keep the Friend Guard active for the Golden Go to come in?
Hyper Voice is the attack of choice for this Primarina, so it does lock itself into that water type attack. Will be able to bypass Follow Me because it does hit both targets, but Mousehold should be able to attack first. This Terra Steel, Make It Rain, threatening some very heavy damage, and if we do get the Super Fang to connect on our Archaludon, despite it being resisted, it might be enough for a KO too.
Primarina is going to be withdrawn, which means that we're going to see a new Pokemon take its place. It's the King Gambit.
Ooh.
So if you are able to land a Super Fang into that target, that's going to make it so much easier to pick off. King Gambit, one of the Pokemon that would love to be here in the face of this Golden Go, but maybe not now that it's also terrestrialized to the Steel type. A big boost of damage on top of the Choice Specs to the Make It Rains. And so with our Archaludon going for a Protect, it's just the King Gambit that's all by itself, hoping to survive this next sequence of moves. Super Fang connects onto the King Gambit, brings it down to half HP, and now it's up to this Golden Go to try to punch this damage through this Steel-type King Gambit. As you see the Make It Rain fire up, the King Gambit just barely hangs on!
So much damage. King Gambit comes in on Make It Rain and is left with very little HP, but a great Super Fang target there, knowing that our Chaladon may want to protect itself from this Golden Go on this turn. Now, if you're the Mousehold, you have the option to go for another Follow Me, maybe protect this Golden Go from a Sucker Punch, or you could even try to get aggressive, maybe go for one more Super Fang on your Chaladon. But this Golden Go now in a position where, thanks to that Terrestrialization, it's not weak to Dark and will resist everything from their Chaladon.
So the Sucker Punch still does about a quarter of damage to this Golden Go, but the fact of the matter is that it's not super effective anymore. Golden Go, very safe to use this Tailwinds to make It Rain again. Just barely misses the KO onto the Archaladon. So is that something that Matt can capitalize on? With this Archaladon survival, does he get to go for another powerful move that might be able to knock something out? It's into the Mousehold, so yes, he gets a KO. But Chuppa gets to bring something else in with another turn of Tailwind left.
I do think he really needed to knock out that Mousehold there. That's a smart target from Matt. If you do fire that Dragon Pulse into Golden Go, it likely survives thanks to that Steel typing and could be able to swap out on this coming turn, reset those special attack drops. But now this Golden Go, one of Chuppa's final 2 Pokemon, can no longer leave the field, is at -2 special attack currently, and if it keeps attacking, which it has to, it will keep lowering its special attack. I believe Chuppa's 4th Pokemon was that Incineroar, which might be able to deal a little bit of damage to Matt's remaining Pokemon. But the fact that this Primarina is waiting in the back from Matt, I think is a really nice place to be in, especially if you force the Golden Go to attack one more time before it comes out. It will be taking resisted damage, or not resisted damage, but much less damage from a -3 Make It Rain. Hits the field instead now. Wouldn't be surprised to see some Primarina immediately swap out to Volcarona, again, just to make sure it's taking the Make It Rain at -3 instead of -2, because I think that's kind of the only way you could possibly lose this game.
Unless we see a critical hit from the Make It Rain.
Don't manifest that.
I'm just putting out all the options
right.
on the table.
You're very
the critical
right.
hits can certainly turn the tides. Right now, it does look like with this Pokemon advantage, Matt is sitting fairly comfortably, but there's still speed that Chuppa can have access to, and you also have a fake out to stop an attack for one turn. Matt's also playing it very safe. There's no swaps, but this Archaladon is going to get a protect. Fortunately, the Primarina gets faked out on this turn, so there's no damage coming through from the Primarina, but you maintain spread damage here as this Golden Go goes for another Make It Rain. At -2 with a Terra, it's still not going to do very much, and now this Golden Go is at -3 special attack.
You have to imagine, is this Primarina now possible to be knocked out by a combination of Make It Rain and a potential Flare Blitz from this Incineroar? Flare Blitz will be resisted, and Make It Rain is at -3 now, but Primarina not known to have the best defense. Again, this Incineroar, very quick, almost definitely attacking before Primarina, and may just have enough firepower to knock out Primarina and leave Volcarona as Matt's final Pokemon. Of course, our Chaladon will get to attack first. I believe we've seen it is faster than Golden Go, but resisted attacks only into this Golden Go.
Dragon Pulse actually targets down the Incineroar instead, and that's going to soften it up quite nicely. With the Incineroar going for the Flare Blitz, you have to hope that that's going to be enough damage to get this Make It Rain over the line, but Incineroar looks like it might have missed that amount. Golden Go still moves first before the Primarina, so you can get the KO now! It's actually a double! And Chuppa takes 2 Pokemon out like that! It's just the Volcarona left, and Chuppa can feel it!
Huge.
He is 1 Pokemon away from claiming another regional championship!
That is massive damage coming out from that Terra Steel Choice Specs Golden Go. Who cares if you have these special attack drops? You've got the power you need to claim another regional championship title. This Volcarona is Matt's final Pokemon, but it took so much damage earlier on in this game. It's Struggle Bug, Flamethrower, the only damaging options.
-3 Make It Rain would be good enough, but the Flamethrower comes out just in case. Makes this a 1-to-1 Pokemon count, and Matt is really hoping that this Volcarona can get through it, but I think he sees the writing on the wall, or maybe even the seance in the tea leaves. Incineroar goes for the knockoff, and Chuppa Cross is your Pittsburgh Regional Champion!
What a massively impressive game from Chuppa there. He got through a lot of adversity with that first match. That Mousehold and that Super Fang were really good to him all through that tournament. Gave him a little bit of a scare in that first game, but came through in a huge way. The Super Fang connecting into King Gambit as it swapped in on that Make It Rain made it so it just didn't really attack much at all. King Gambit, one of the best checks you have to that Golden Go, and Chuppa just powered right through it, knowing exactly when to swap his Pokemon, when not to swap his Pokemon, to keep attacking with a -3 Golden Go. It was just enough damage in the end.